The New South Wales Government is considering changing Sydney's water security policy in order to ensure there's enough drinking water for the city while protecting residents in flood-prone areas. Our New South Wales political reporter Julia Bradley is in Windsor for us today. Julia, what is the proposal?
Well, Ash, New South Wales Premier Chris Minns was out in Sydney's west this morning. He was announcing the start of construction on a new project there, but at the same time he was being pushed over whether his government is doing enough in the way of mitigating the risk of floods, because we saw yet another flooding disaster over the weekend spilling into early this week, impacting yet again residents in Sydney's northwest. Those living along the Hawkesbury-Nepean River, for some of them, it's their seventh flooding disaster in just 18 months. And at the height of this torrential rain over the weekend, 80,000 Olympic swimming pools worth of water was spilling from Warragamba Dam, which is our biggest dam. It's also our biggest source of drinking water. Now, Premier Chris Minns proposing this morning a plan which would see the government double the capacity of Sydney's desalination plant, at the same time reducing the maximum capacity of Warragamba Dam, possibly to 80%, in a bid to protect those residents from extra water spilling over, possibly into their properties.
I want to make it clear that we're looking at all potential changes, including dropping the maximum allowable level on Warragamba. However, I can't consider doing that unless I supplement Sydney's drinking water supply in the meantime.
Pressed yet again over this coalition policy to raise the wall of the Warragamba Dam. We know that was proposed by the last government in New South Wales, the coalition government, but that idea floated as early back as 2016 under the Mike Baird government. The Premier, Chris Minns, says it's not a feasible option.
If we started it tomorrow, it would take about 8 to 10 years to complete, and it would cost more than $2 billion. I remember looking at this issue when we were in opposition, and the original cost estimate was $650 million. We're now at $2 billion, and work hasn't even begun on it.
More immediately, though, the New South Wales government is banning the construction of new homes in flood-prone areas, also putting $200 million into the construction of additional levees, and also looking at additional evacuation routes. The New South Wales opposition leader, Mark Speakman, out touring flood-affected areas this morning, including Pitt Town, and he says that those communities haven't seen any of this funding.
This community and communities in Western Sydney were promised $200 million in flood mitigation roadworks by Chris Minns before the election. That promise was repeated last year, yet communities like this have not seen a cent in terms of delivery.
So flood mitigation, a really difficult task for the government to tackle, particularly with the high chance of another La Nina this year.
Julia, thank you.